Hello and welcome everybody to the fall 2018 of anime seasons, and today we're going to pick up and discuss 4 new shows along with Banana Fish, which is going into this season as well.
Yep.
And we're going to get into that right now, but we did have a surprise from a show that we had a finale of last season.
Yes, we should probably finish that up, an episode late.
Like 2 weeks later, Joshing Chan just dropped a
surprise
finale that wasn't actually included in the original TV broadcast. So we got to watch that, and
I think I know what happened. I think that people like us, if you go back and go back to the second to last episode 10 of summer 2018, where we were like, that's what you're going to end on. I think it was a collective, what? That they went, no, there was one more, and they scrambled to make one more.
Yeah, I was really weirded out that it was 11 episodes because most are 12 or 13, and
yeah,
we got a decent finale out of this one. I wish it was the finale.
We can call it the finale. Just unfortunately, we can't go back in time and put it into that episode.
I mean, there wasn't much new ground to tread on this, but it was a lot funnier than the previous episode.
Yes.
Especially the beginning, where Joshing Chan is entering back from space, and she kind of Street Fighter 2's it up.
She has I think she has at least 13 different adjectives before the word drop kick.
13 different adjectives in intermission. So that she could catch her breath.
And drinking, drink her parched throat away. And
then a continuation.
Where all you hear is the I and kick for about 2 minutes. It just keeps going. Until, it's making it like it's the opening throughout the whole season where she comes down and creates the nuclear explosion. Which actually, it started off pretty badass because she does the zasas, zasas. And then it comes out this triumphant, awesome, badass music. And then at the end, it's like he shows all the characters as if they see her coming down. But in reality, they didn't see shit, because all she came down and she turned into a giant shit stain.
There was a blood puddle there.
That was not blood. That was clearly the color brown.
Okay, we have different interpretations then. But this entire street was just covered with it.
I claim she was a shit stain. He says that she's a blood stain. But all that's left is literally her human torso. Her snake half is gone.
Yeah, and we got a beach episode, which was surprisingly missing in this show.
Yeah,
not that I really cared.
I was like, oh, okay, an anime missing a beach, the beach episode. How unique. I was like, oh, unique. They didn't do it, but then they went back and did it.
And they had a lot of references. Call-outs to different series
Sailor
in this
Moon
episode. And yeah, they had a Sailor Moon part where Urine does all the poses, which he says, "I'm going to punish you," to Joshing Chan. And I think there were a bunch that we didn't even recognize. And yeah,
because there was things in it that were out of place for the show, but the show is random. So to say out of place is like, what does that mean? But it's just like, I don't recognize that from this show, even with the randomness, it still has its own arcs and continuity. So you can tell these are things that were references, but like you said, I don't think they were ones we watched or recognized.
I feel like I have watched some of these shows, but at this point I've watched so many shows that it's kind of a blur in my head.
Right.
And they're doing things like, we obviously recognize the Sailor Moon reference,
yes,
because that's like, duh.
Yeah, because any kid who was a kid in the 90s, don't deny it. Man or woman, boy or girl, you watched Sailor Moon. If you watched cartoons in the 90s, don't lie. No, I'm a manly man and I didn't watch Sailor Moon. Yes, you did.
That was one of those.
Yes, you did.
That was one of those gateway animes.
Mm-hmm.
Along with
and even if you didn't like it, you still watched it because it came on right before Dragon Ball Z.
Yep. Yep. And that's really all we have to say about that episode.
It was if that episode had come out last week, the last week of summer, we would have been like, oh my god, that would have ranked really high on our list of finales.
Yeah.
But It didn't. So
Much better finale for a comedy show.
yes.
Anyway, I am CarnagePanda, and this is...
Featherhoof. We kind of forgot to do our intros. We're only like 5 minutes in. We just now did our intros. And welcome to Anime Talk for fall of 2018.
We kind of Joshin-chan this one up.
Yes, we did. So with that, we're going to go ahead. For those who have not been here for Anime Talk before, brief intro. Usually we pick 5 animes that are introduced this season, watch them, enjoy them. Well, try to enjoy them, unlike some ones from past animes. And, you know, we talk about them. We come here every week, we talk about them with you, share our experiences, our stories with you, hope you share them back with us. And, you know, whether it's animes we're watching and you have different opinions than ours, or you're watching animes we aren't and you want to tell us about them. Those are things we encourage and we really hope you do. So, this season is a little different. We're not doing 5 brand new animes this season. We're doing 4 brand new animes this season because, I'm sorry, we're sorry, Banana Fish is that fucking good.
If you're not watching this show, you are missing out.
Yes, so we're going to explain why, because it's our first, usually we rank these. We're always like, this is our 5th favorite, or our first favorite. It's the first episode of the season.
Yeah, since it's the first, week of the season, we're not going to really do that, but
we are going to talk about the animes that we watched, just because it's all the same thing. It's the introductions. Everybody's getting introduced, except for one. And we will talk about that right now.
Okay, coming back from our last season, which is continuing into fall, is Banana Fish.
I saw Banana Fish this season!
Yeah, we can continue doing that too. Okay, so I don't think a lot happened in this episode.
Oh, no, of course not. This episode was a total snore fest, I tell you. Nothing happened, except for, 25 headshots?
Let's talk about Ash's perks, or whatever he would have in an RPG.
He trained under Legolas. I swear to God.
In this episode, we have...
This was, again, just like with Joshin-chan, this was supposed to be the season finale. Or in this case, it would have been the mid-season finale.
Yeah, this is a weird, because they had a break after episode 12.
Yes.
We had no episode.
Nope.
And thank the heavens we have no recap this week.
Yes.
But this episode is a finale episode because Ash and Arthur are having it out.
Or Frederick.
His real name.
Which comes out of left field as if it's a significant thing, but then it's like, okay.
We've known him the entire season as Arthur, and in the last few moments, we learned his real name is Frederick. Which
awesome.
Has no bearing on the story whatsoever.
No. Nope.
We have them going down in the fight, which was set up in the last episode.
Yes, it's a great, awesome throwdown. I mean, it's badass. This whole episode was badass. Though it did turn into a bit of a comedy, but
yeah. I don't know how to explain other than using like RPG terms.
Then use RPG terms, please.
Ash has like this critical hit chance, which is 100%. He picked up some skill that always gives him headshots.
Every fucking shot.
And his favorite gun is a revolver, which has 6 bullets in the chamber.
Yes. And
he never
always
reloads.
has 6 bullets in the chamber.
Has 6 bullets. He never has to reload, so he picked that perk up as well. Infinite ammo.
He's wearing the infinite ammo bandana.
He's got the bandana on. But the guys on the other side have stormtrooper aim.
Okay, well, and it's even worse than stormtrooper aim, okay? Because they're in a train car. They're in a subway car. There's nowhere for him to go.
Yeah.
They can't hit him.
Barely any cover either, like...
His cover was a metal rail. That's it.
They cannot hit Ash,
but they can sure as fuck hit that metal rail.
To compound the matters, Ash shoots the lights out in this dark tunnel, so it should be pitch black.
No, this is even worse. Okay, they're on behind him, in front of him. He dives out, lays on the floor, and they all look at him and aim their guns at him. He shoots the lights out, and instead of just instantly firing at where he was, they all just go, "What? What the fuck? What? What happened? Why are there no lights?" It's like, oh my god.
And despite this deep darkness that they're plunged in, Ash could still hit 100% headshots. Like,
every
what?
time. Oh my.
It's like homing bullets or something.
He is hacked into the Matrix.
Well, he does move like they do because
He dodged a bullet. He dodged a fucking bullet.
yeah, earlier in the episode he dodges a bullet.
Arthur was what? Oh yeah, it was in the flashback when he first fought. Arthur and him first fought. Arthur was what? 20 feet away?
20 feet away. Ash has his back turned to Arthur, and
he hears the bullet. He hears the gun go off, turns around and dodges the bullet from 20 feet away, maybe 30. But it's like, oh my god. Ash is the one. He's the one Morpheus has been looking for.
Yeah, so we have a Matrix reference and a Batman reference from The Dark Knight here, because we learn how Arthur got his scars.
Yes.
From that scene right there where he tried to ambush Ash there and kill him with the gun. That's why Ash slashed his knuckles and impaired him, I guess.
Well, yeah, he can't pull a trigger. He can't fire a gun.
Yeah,
because of it.
But he can use a knife.
He flips that butterfly knife around like crazy. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, the butterfly knife antics where he's like spinning it around and he doesn't even have his hands on it. And it's like, does Arthur have telekinesis here? I mean, based on the crazy abilities that Ash is displaying, I'm not gonna put it past Arthur having these crazy knife abilities.
I wouldn't either. This episode was fucking insane with the powers that these people showed off. So we get to the finale. Like, they're on the subway train. Oh no! What I found funny is because what had happened was they were having their one-on-one fight. Arthur called in a train of dudes with guns.
Yeah.
And Ash gets on the train, and this is my favorite part. Kane from the Black Sabbath is like, "Come on, man, we need to go after Arthur," and they're like, "Yeah!" And Su Sing from the Chinese are there like, "We need to go to Coney Island!" Yeah! Which is, it's where the train is going. He already knows that, but it's just the way that was framed was fucking hilarious. So the train gets to Coney Island. Oh, even the cops are like, "Oh, they're on the F train. We're just going to Coney Island." To Coney Island!
Yeah, so everybody goes to Coney Island, where the subway train is going, but the subway train kind of stops on top of the
pier bridge thing.
Yeah, so some kind of bridge.
Yeah, and Arthur's like, all his men are dead. Ash has killed everyone with headshots. And
he's killed 20-some guys with headshots.
And Arthur's like, "Just kill me. Just go on. Just kill me." And he's like, "No." He's like, "What, you want me to blow my own brains out?" And he's like, "No, we're gonna have this out." And he gives him his knife. He takes his own knife. They get off the bridge and they have the climactic fight, the one they always show in the opening credits. They finally have it. And God, this was a fantastically drawn fight. It was a fantastically choreographed fight. It was just so well played.
Yeah, they're gonna do it mano-a-mano with knives, and I'm gonna criticize the knives they have because I think they needed better knives. Like, Arthur is using the butterfly knife, and Ash is using a switchblade. Like, can't you get like a 10 or 12-inch blade that's not gonna fail you?
All I know is that it made me bust out laughing because when they clashed blades like they were using swords.
That made no sense to me. I was like with knives.
And of course, AG shows up, and it's like, for the love of God, AG, don't call his name. Don't do it, because I know what's going to happen if you do. And
the audience knows that he's going to call his name.
And he calls his name. Ash gets distracted. Arthur just cuts his belly. It's like, oh, that looked painful. And Ash just then proceeds to He gets another headshot. He gets another fucking headshot with a knife.
He got a headshot with a knife. Come on.
He cuts Arthur. Like it's almost like, you want to know how I got these scars? And then proceeds to stab him in the gut twice. Like first, by thrusting into him, and then coming back and thrusting again. And then coming up and slashing through his throat.
And he only got him on half of his neck though, so he could have survived that.
But he didn't survive the backwards 20-foot fall off the bridge. So
I mean, legitimately, I'm just gonna go off on a tangent here.
Go ahead.
Kind of related to the next slash.
All right.
When I was a kid, I got hit with a firecracker in my leg.
All right.
Which is a rocket, so it left a nice gash in my leg, and I've still got a scar there. So you know how I got my scar. But I was in the emergency room to get stitches, and I was just sitting there. The doctor's like, he injected me with the Novocaine to start the stitches up. And some dude walks in and he's holding his neck and there's blood all over the place.
Oh.
And a woman walks in next to him in a wedding dress. And he's in a tuxedo and everything. So
if anyone objects to this wedding, someone said yes to that.
Someone definitely, I'll get to that in a moment.
Oh, okay.
So he's holding his neck and the doctor looks over and he's like, oh shit. And he goes in and runs in there. And I get up and look because I'm 10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And I'm looking over there. They're doing the surgery on this guy. And there's blood all over the place. And, he survives, okay?
Okay, all right.
And I'm like, I want to be like this guy when I grow up. But anyway, well, I don't want to get slashed in the throat. I want to be badass like this guy.
Okay.
So he survives. And apparently it was his son that slashed him in the throat because he hated the woman.
Perfectly valid reason, I guess.
But totally survivable if you are not Arthur and fall off to your death.
Yeah. Because even when the scene happened, he's like, it's totally survivable. I'm like, yeah, but this 20-foot fall isn't. He's like, what, he's about to fall? Because he's doing the whole backwards backing up thing and hits the rail and becomes a blood splatter.
That's just the story I know, that it is totally survivable because I have seen somebody survive that shit.
So he defeats Arthur. Yay! Arthur's defeated. And he calls from the bridge to Eiji. I told you to leave! I didn't want you to see me like this!
I mean, there's a good reason there because the NYPD shows up and they're all like, oh, it looks like a good day to use excessive force.
Yeah, and they did. Holy shit, everyone who was there got a beat down.
Yeah, everybody there's getting arrested. It seems like, what, I didn't do anything.
And I love my favorite line of this whole episode is still Ash at the end. Like, Ash, don't resist. Just come quietly. He's like, I couldn't if I want to.
It's like, I couldn't resist it.
And he just falls over.
I was just expecting it, for them to rush over there and just start beating Ash and be like, stop resisting. Like, I wouldn't be able to. I expected it to happen, but it did.
Oh, it disappointed us. Oh, no.
Not an accurate portrayal of the NYPD at all.
I'm not touching that. I'm simply not going to touch that. And just final thoughts. God damn it, why was this not available for us for our finale episode for summer? Because it was an absolute perfect mid-season finale. It was beautiful. That would have been our number one. Absolutely would have been our number one.
And the plus thing is that they have not replaced the opening and ending yet. Because...
But I'm pretty sure it's going to be next episode.
It might be next episode, because we looked up the band that is apparently going to do it, and they really sound generic, so I do not have high expectations for it.
But even a generic band can put out a one-hit wonder.
Well, they've put out a lot of songs, so...
Yeah. So, we're hoping for the best. But I hope, no matter what band they have for the openings and ending credits themes, hopefully they will at least still have the same writers for this show, because goddamn. Well, I mean, they already do. It's the manga.
Off of a manga.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. Yeah. the adapters, whoever's adapting it from the stills to animation, will still be great.
Well, I guess yeah, but let's just have a moment of silence for our dear departed shorter and a jump cut.
Okay, and coming up next for our anime of fall 2018, our first new one of the season is Double Decker. One of the things we noticed when we were going through our all the trailers, and we were like, that looks cool, that looks, oh, fuck that, and oh, that looks neat, and, just going through, by the end, when we got our list boiled down to all the things we thought were neat, we were like, wow, we have way too many shows that have the word action in their title.
Oh, yeah, we tried to vary this up, because this season is very action show oriented.
At least the ones that are worth seeing are very action oriented. Well, again, not totally inclusive. There were some that were really good that weren't, but mostly speaking. And so we tried to find ones that were diversified in its subcategories. And this one
that weren't, super popular and everybody's going to cover them.
Right.
Because there's a lot of sequels that are part of super popular shows that are airing this season as well.
Well, that's again part of what this anime talk is. It's supposed to be promoting new shows for the season for the most part.
Yeah.
Banana Fish was just that good that we had to keep going. Double Decker is an action comedy. This thing is I get reminiscence of Trigun a little bit.
Trigun, huh?
I get little Trigun vibes in the action to comedy ratio.
Oh, okay.
I mean, obviously not in story or characters. I mean in the way that the show will be pleasant and funny, and then just like have these great action scenes.
I mean, that's a good thing, because I did find Trigun to be very hilarious.
Yes,
because that's how the show starts out.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning is just kind of an episodic comedy.
Yes,
until later on it kicks into some action.
Yeah.
Well,
action and drama.
Yeah, action and drama,
which it did really well.
And I'm not going to say that I expect that from this, but
no.
that's a good note to. That's a good thing to compare it to.
Yeah, I think this is the vibe I get. This is where we're going with this. This is okay, for those who don't know, Double Decker. I have to keep looking at our notes to remember what it's called, because I need to remember 4 brand new anime titles. Double Decker is about
and all the names.
Oh God, no names again. Luckily, this one's easy, because we don't need to care about their names. We just need to care about their code words.
It's in the title. Doug and Kirill.
That's true. Double Decker, Doug and Kirill. Well, it's a show where in this world there's a drug or a patch or some kind of thing called Anthem. Gives people superpowers if it's used too often or too much.
Like I commented when we were watching the trailers, they must not be BioWare fans.
Well, after Mass Effect Andromeda, that's how many of those are left? I mean, really.
Huh. You make a good point there.
That's off topic. I was about to go into a thing. No.
Good man.
So, there's a group above the police that's run by the military that it's called 7-0?
Yeah.
7-0?
Well, I don't think it's run by the military. It's
no,
just
they said they answer to the military.
Oh, okay.
That's what Boss
Sometimes
said.
I miss things, so...
He's like, we answer to the such and such military group, or such and such military something.
Yeah, they're like a secret organization that's out looking for these guys that are using Anthem.
But they only have jurisdiction if a perpetrator is confirmed to be using Anthem. Otherwise, they're not allowed to touch it.
And not only if they're using Anthem, if they have to be a certain stage of using the Anthem drug.
Well, stage 1 is confirming. It's like, okay, we need to confirm that, we've confirmed that they're using Anthem. And that's when they're allowed to step in. Phase 2 is when they're actually allowed to use force and actually do things about it. And then stage 3 is when they go and the person who's using Anthem suddenly has their superpowers, and they're like, okay, now we need to put this dude down.
Yeah.
They didn't describe Phase 4 yet, though. There is a Phase 4, they didn't describe it.
Yeah, they didn't even talk about Phase 4, but they do have an allusion towards it, because they show 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. So we have our guys, and they're hunting these superhumans, and it's kind of cool. It's like, okay, badass action scenes. And again, the main character, Doug, aka Veteran, is he's fighting this dude, and again, right there, that's when I got Trigun vibes. The way he was fighting that dude.
Because he had a gun?
No, it was partially, but he was really good with it. Like, it showed other dudes trying to shoot that guy with the guns, and he just bouncing around and dodging him. This guy was far better than, even though the guy was smart enough to use the coins to deflect the bullet. But, and it's primarily about that. But, of course, we got this great opening narration from this guy, and he's just like, this is a story about a guy who becomes the hero the city needs. But that's not him. That's not, this person who is me. But
Kirill is narrating these events, and he's like, that's not me. That's not me.
Yeah, and then it shows, Veteran comes in, and he goes, and then there's the 7-0 people, and this, that, and the other. That's also not me. He points it out multiple times. It's quite hilarious.
Because our intrepid hero, Kirill, is kind of a goof-off.
Yep.
And...
Well, he's not even a goof-off. He has dreams of grandeur.
Yeah, he has these delusions of grandeur.
Yes. So he keeps, leaving his post to try and be a part of things he shouldn't be a part of. Excuse me. And, so he's just a regular police officer. He's a lowly grunt police officer. He's with, like you said, delusions of grandeur. Which, to cut the episode down, to its basics, at the end, he gets his chance. He
gets his chance.
He's presented with this opportunity where the narrator points out, the real narrator, who's, after Kirill becomes introduced, takes over the part of narrating. He talks about how every night Kirill has the same dream, where he finds himself in a school or any other, whatever building he's in, and, he dreams that he's in the advantageous position of being in the villain's blind spot, and he can do the thing to save everybody. But then he always falls asleep right there and never figures out how he does it.
Yeah, and he's actually in his perfect opportunity that he dreamed up, but he doesn't know how to follow through with it.
So Veteran shows up right there. This is an Anthem user who killed somebody in 7-0, and Veteran wants him. But he can't do anything until Anthem is confirmed. So he uses Kirill to come up with a plan to distract the guy so that Kirill can go down there and look for the Anthem mark somewhere on his body. And when he gets down there, he smoke bombs down. And
this is great because he throws the smoke bomb down and then he comes out, and I felt like this was a Terminator illusion.
It absolutely was, because Cyrus, I think the villain's name was?
Whatever his name was.
It was Cyrus. He turns around, he's like, "Who are you?" It's like, "I am a time traveler." And he's completely nude.
Yeah, he's completely naked, like they start in every single Terminator movie.
By the way, this show has the greatest censorship ever. I love the censorship on this show.
Well, there's been shows with great censorship. I wouldn't say this is the greatest show in my opinion, but
it made me laugh because it's a whited out squiggle.
It's just like squiggly lines, and it is blocking out all the parts that would make women scream in terror.
That whatever, but so he's like,
this is Kirill we're talking about.
That's true. So he turns around trying to look for the mark, because Veteran described it as a mark on his neck. So he's looking for a mark on his neck, and he's got his big old collar up. So he's like, "Oh fuck, he's wearing a coat! I didn't notice he was wearing a coat," even though he clearly looked at him.
Yeah.
And he's watching him, and then suddenly he realizes his pupils are no longer pupils anymore. They're like spinning dots and everything. And he's like, "Confirm!" He presses the button to confirm that he's spotted basically phase 2, to enter phase 2.
Yeah, and to tell them, yeah, you can go ahead.
So he saves the day, quote unquote, because apparently Veteran doesn't he just disappears. So the police believe that Kirill was the kidnapper.
Yeah, Doug disappears and the police come in and tackle Kirill because they think he had kidnapped all these hostages in there.
Yep.
And he gets fired from his job, and
after the most beautiful, talking about police brutality from before, all the police go, "It's a kidnapper!" and just start bum rushing
Actually,
him.
that reminds me of that cop from earlier when the guy's mowing them down or shooting at them with a chain gun, and then he runs out of ammo and pulls out the other gun. And there's a cop that just walks up with the shield. He's like, "I'm getting in line," and he gets shot immediately.
Yeah. So he gets fired from his job, and then suddenly, just instantly, is like, "You don't have a place." His chief is like, "You don't have a place here in this department anymore." But he's like, "Because you belong to another department now," and it shows he gets hired by 7-0.
Yeah, because Doug put in a word for him.
Yep. So, oh god, I forgot Doug. The way Doug talked Kirill into doing the thing. He's like, oh, you're a constable. You could be a sergeant. And he's like,
you'll get a 2-rank promotion if you do this.
You'll get if you do this thing and save the day, you'll get a 2-rank posthumous promotion. It's like, yes, that's so awesome. And the narrator comes in, and Kirill cried for joy, not knowing what the word posthumous means.
Yeah, so we have our guy here, Kirill, and he's pretty dumb. Mm-hmm. He just has these delusions of being a hero, and this is how he gets duped into being Doug's partner.
Well, no, I think Doug actually put in the word for him because he did perform well under pressure. He was supposed to look for the mark that could have been anything, and his instincts, he looked the guy over, and he was able to pinpoint his eyes.
Well, I'm going to come with a different interpretation because this is a comedy.
Okay.
And some of the other characters in it, like, they have code names, but they did give different names for them, like Pink, okay?
You're right.
These guys are kind of dysfunctional because when they're trying to ascertain whether the guy, Cyrus, is using Anthem,
right?
She's like, he got Derek, and we need to get him.
Right.
And their boss, Travis, is like, I'm doing really good with names here. He's like, we can't interfere unless we know. And she just flips him off. She's like, that's why you're such a... I don't know the word she uses because they bleep it out.
And they censored her middle finger, too. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, because it ends with him becoming part of 7-0 and fighting over his new nickname of Perm.
Or Okapa.
And he wants to, of the choices he's given Okapa, Perm, or
Dead Guy.
Dead Guy. So he's like, he wants Okapa. The boss wants him to be Perm because he wants somebody in the team with a perm.
At least he didn't want some guy on the team with a pompadour.
You know, there probably is a character who, because it's a Japanese anime, there's going to be somebody in there with a pompadour at some point.
Well, it's a comedy too, so we'll probably have
an exaggerated
pompadour at that.
So that's the beginning of Double Decker. It had us laughing. It was fucking random sometimes. But it still followed a pretty solid action story, a good cop story mixes with meta-human story. It's really interesting. I'm really excited to see where it goes.
You know, I really like this, and I did comment when we were watching the trailers that this looks like the cast of a Tales game.
It absolutely does, yes.
And I just want to comment on the character designs because I really like them. They're very colorful. They pop out to the eye.
Yes.
And I think that's part of the reason why I'm able to remember their names.
Yeah, I can see that.
Despite my...
Well, that and even though they're given human names, like normal... Yeah, there's some English names, there's some Japanese names in there. We don't need to know them because they all have code words. Boss, Pink, Robot, Rookie, Okapa, Veteran.
Well, they do have a new character that comes in after Kirill joins, who gets the new designation of Rookie.
Right.
And
that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about her, not necessarily Kirill.
She teams up with somebody.
I think it was Pink, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe Pink. But, you know, they, like he said, like Featherhoof said, they all have real names. Like, I can't remember all of them, but I do remember Pink's was like Deanna Del Rio. So
that was more than I remember. Jesus,
they've got a rather unique cast here. She's a Latina with pink hair
and a pink outfit. She likes pink. But then again, so does Kirill for some reason. That pink jacket he wears. Oh. Anyway, any final thoughts on Double Decker?
No, other than this is one of those shows that's not being watched by a lot of people because of all the, huge sequels that are showing up. And I just wanted to, give some shout-outs for this show because it's actually pretty good.
Absolutely. So that was Double Decker. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next entry on the list, which is, I was not prepared.
And next up, we have Goblin Slayer.
Oh boy. This was the one anime we knew we were going to watch. Well, I knew we were going to watch because he decided, he's like, I don't care what else comes out, we are watching Goblin Slayer. I'm like, and he showed me the trailer. Oh, okay, action, medieval, fantasy, magic, and goblins and monsters and stuff. I can dig. And the main character looks like fucking Doomslayer, or a Doom guy.
Doomslayer.
He looks like, he is Doomslayer.
The crossover.
He looks like Doom guy if he was a knight. So, It's... please, describe.
So this seems to be really inspired by Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
That's the kind of feel you get from it.
Because, like, what was it? The priest girl?
Yeah,
whose name...
she has spells per day.
Yes, she was like, hey, can you do any healing? He's like, well, yes, I can do heal and holy light, but only 3 times per day.
Speaking of names, this is the greatest show for us this season because they have names like Goblin Slayer and Priestess. He didn't actually, the author didn't actually name them.
I was sitting here thinking to myself, God, what the fuck was her name? We just did this thing about how we're good with names this season. What was her fucking name? They really didn't give her a name?
No, and they did that.
Oh, deliberate?
None of them have names.
That's true.
There's other characters that are going to be introduced that we saw in the trailer. They don't have names.
And
they're like...
We saw this episode. There were no names in this episode. Oh, no, that's not true. There actually was. They actually introduced themselves. I just don't remember what their names were.
They have Guild Girl and Priestess and Goblin Slayer, Lizard Shaman.
Well, no, I thought the 3 people that Priestess went into the cave with all had names.
They don't have names. They don't have names.
Oh.
They don't need names.
Oh, they just described themselves to her?
They're a fighter, mage, and a kung fu person.
Yeah.
But definitely inspired by D&D because spells per day, we have different classes. This is not an isekai where they're getting sucked into another world.
Or it's not a trapped in an MMO thing either.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I think it was cool when Dot Hack did it. It's gotten so played out since. I know Dot Hack was not the first. I know. Just don't.
Actually, the first isekai that we've ever watched is Escaflowne, which was actually good.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the MMO thing, trapped in an MMO.
The MMO thing is getting a little...
Getting tired. A little? That's
getting a little
tired.
It's a definite cliche, but this is a show that is played straight.
Yep. I'm expecting, just because of, isekais and trapped in the MMOs, I'm waiting for the final episode is to show that it was just a bunch of people playing D&D.
Well, they do have, after the ending credits, they have... Well, it wasn't the ending credits. After the last scene shows, you hear the sound of dice rolling.
That is true. Anyway, let's set up the show for people who don't know what Goblin Slayer is. Explain the show for us.
Goblin Slayer is a dark fantasy show like Berserk and... I can't remember the Bastard. Bastard's dark fantasy, isn't it?
It's fantasy. I don't know if I would classify it dark, but I mean, I haven't seen Bastard in a long time. I can only remember what the main character looks like in my head.
Well, this is a dark fantasy, which contrasts with the moe look they give for the characters.
Yeah.
So if you watch the trailer and you go into the episode without prior knowledge, which some people kind of hinted at it for me, but if you don't go into it with that knowledge, you're going to be very surprised because this gets dark fast. Yeah,
you're expecting, the story of the young upstarts who start at the low rank, they're the porcelain rank in the guild, that go out on their quests and raise through the ranks, that the people thought that everyone thought they were going to get killed, but they always, get through in the end. That's how it started. It definitely gives that vibe in the beginning.
Well, we have it start off in the beginning where the priestess is registering with the guild to become an adventurer.
I still love the first and only question the guild register asked her was, "Can you read and write?" "Yeah, I learned in the temple."
Reading and writing is a prerequisite to being an adventurer, so I guess there are no barbarians.
So she's like, "Okay, fill in your name here. Here's your porcelain tag. Away you go. There's the board over there."
Yeah, the quest board.
Yep. And before she can get to catch her breath or figure anything out herself, a group comes up and goes, "Hey, you're a healer, right?" "Oh, yeah. You're with us. Let's go."
This is to be expected because she's a healer, and everybody's always looking for a healer.
Like I remember, years ago when I was playing Final Fantasy XI, there was just if you could sit in a thing and put looking for group. There were hundreds of people looking for group. The ones who were picked up were the ones who put healer as one of their classes. Then we get picked. "Oh, you, come on, let's go." Anyone else, they were ignored. So I love it because this is my favorite part because it's This is the chick who runs the guild, or at least the register. She sucks at her job. Because they're all porcelain type. All of them are porcelain type. And they're all like, hey, we're gonna go do this thing to fight goblins and, save people who were kidnapped by the goblins. And she goes, that's above your rank, right? Ah, fuck it, we got it, shit. And that's all she said. She doesn't even go, like, look, you can't do that. It's, or against the rules or anything. She just is like, if you're porcelain, you have to go to porcelain quests. She just goes, well, I guess I'll shut up and let them figure out on their own.
She might as well have just given him the 1,000-yard stare and just shut up, like you said, because these are the typical groups of newbies that don't know what they're doing and end up pissing everybody off because they don't prepare, they don't know what they're doing.
And they even point that out when they get to the cave.
Yeah,
so the priestess is like, did you buy potions?
Priestess is asking, did you buy healing potions? It's like, nah, we didn't have money, we didn't have any time. These goblins are super easy. Who cares?
Yeah, they're the smallest children, and they're weak, and I scared off 20 goblins when I was younger, even though he's still a kid anyway. My home village, and, goblins are nothing. And they play goblins off like they're shit. And when finally goblins show up, because the group is retarded.
the group is stupid. You have your healer and the mage in the back.
Yeah.
And our monk and our warrior just split the group like idiots.
Yeah, they take off.
They are idiots, to be honest. They just take off, and our priestess is like, I think I heard a sound, and the mage is like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, she doesn't even consider that it might, that it might be. She's like, oh, you're so scaredy little whippy baby. Shut up. Until, pata, goblins.
Yeah, so this is the goblins' territory. They're inside the cave, and they set up an ambush.
Yep.
Like, they're not super smart, but they're capable of doing this much.
Right.
And,
and begins...
Well, our mage gets one of them, but she quickly gets taken down because, they're...
Mages have what? At level 1, a mage has, 4 HP? So...
Well, 4 HP, and since this is kind of D&D based, you have to wonder how many spells per day she has before she's completely useless.
Yeah. Unless she's using cantrips in this most recent edition. Because I think in 5th ed, I think you can use cantrips all the livelong day.
Well, even if she had cantrips, she's still dumb. Even though she graduated from a prestigious academy or whatever.
She gets taken down, stripped, and stabbed with poison daggers, and just beaten the ever-living out of before warrior and monk try to come back and rescue her.
Now, I didn't expect this because
it was graphic. My god!
This is being broadcast on TV, and usually things like this aren't shown, but they had the balls to show them stabbing her with the dagger and blood just spraying, and just a look of just, oh my god, I've been stabbed, and that really hurts on her face.
So, fighter comes in, and he's like,
competent fighter.
Yeah, he's like, you protect them, I'll take care of these guys, and he's swinging wildly, and these goblins are smarter than they believe they are, because they're backing up and forcing him away from the rest of the group.
Yeah, this fighter was a real liability to their group because he tells Monk Chick to stay back.
Yep.
And therefore she doesn't assist and just stands there to protect them while he's flailing wildly, really.
And he gets one. He gets one. And then, because he has a long-ass sword in this teeny tiny cave, he swings so hard he knocks his own sword out of his hand by hitting the wall. And the goblins do not hesitate to cause even more graphicness to happen.
Yeah, they just descend on him and stab him to death and
chop his arm off.
Yeah, there's a scene where they chop his arm off. Like, this is pretty hardcore for a Moe show.
And then Monk just gets into the fray. She tells him to run, to get out of here, run. And she's pretty badass. She actually holds her own for a little while.
Yeah, she holds her own. She's getting these goblins, but they have
the hobgoblin.
Yeah, the hobgoblin shows up, and he grabs her leg and is like on the verge of breaking it,
and then uses her like a flail and bashes her into the wall. It's like, god damn!
Bashes her into the wall and then flogs her on the ground.
And then leaves her there for the goblins to come over and start ripping her clothes off. And literally, they start raping her right there on screen. Like, they don't show actual penetration or nothing, but they show, like, them, the goblins gripping her ass, like, with their long nails and, like, digging into her. And see her gyrating, and she's just begging for Priestess to run.
Yeah, so Priestess runs off with the body of the mage, and our mage is not doing well because she got stabbed with a poison dagger.
Yeah, well, she doesn't know it's a poison dagger. She tried to use heal on her, and it didn't work, and she didn't know why. And as she gets to a point, the goblins come out and, freak her out. She drops mage. The goblins descend on mage and start ripping her clothes off. And the priestess pisses herself in fear.
Well, she got shot by an arrow.
Oh, that's right,
yeah. Like, sitting there, and she does piss herself in fear because...
And the goblins laugh at her, they smell it and start laughing.
Because, well, they're obviously very attracted to women.
Apparently. Really? No! Attracted might not be the right word, but I mean...
Well, they start stripping off the clothes of the mage, who obviously is not in good condition.
She's not even
her
resisting.
Eyes are kind of glassed over.
Yeah, she's not resisting because she can't. And then our titular man shows up.
And then guitar.
Yes. Like literally, if you were to paste music from Doom from 2016 over top of this scene, it would fit right in. He's an experienced badass.
Yeah, I think he's in the context of Dungeons and Dragons, he would be a ranger because he is obviously specialized in the killing of goblins.
That, and he's ambidextrous, and he uses multiple weapons.
Yeah, he knows how to kill these goblins with extreme prejudice.
Yes, and he counts them too. He counts each and every kill. And he's silver rank, I think she said, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's silver rank,
which is the highest rank in the field.
Yeah, the highest rank in the field. There's platinum, gold, and the silver. And they don't say much about platinum and gold.
No.
We don't know what they do, but...
Well, platinum's the leader of the guild.
But
I think gold is the one who's below that.
Yeah, which is higher than silver, but the only guys that you're going to meet out in the field as adventurers are silver ranked.
Or lower.
They said. Yeah, silver ranked or lower.
So he comes in, and it's just blood galore as he just brilliantly... He's like a master tactician. He knows how to use any weapon he can find in the field. And he just destroys them. He even asks, like, "You, what do you do?" "I'm a priestess." "What spells you got?" And he takes stock of everything. Like, "I can use holy light and heal." It's like, "How many times?" 3 times total, but 2 now." Got it. He forms a plan in his brain right there.
Yeah, so he knows how to dismantle these goblins, and
he does.
Any way the situation changes, he's going to have a plan for killing them.
And it's just brilliant. And he's like, "We need to smell like goblins." He rips open a goblin and rubs their blood all over him and Priestess. They find what's left of Fighter, and she vomits because she can't take it. She's like, "Well, what about Mage? We need to save her." He's like, "There's only one way to save her now. She's gone because the poison." And he's like, he just goes over and stabs her in the throat with the poison dagger to finish her off. And Priestess is like, "But we could have saved her." He's like, "You just would have been, causing her more suffering."
Yeah, definitely.
And, well, yeah, think about, we'll get there. So he takes out the nest. He just takes it out. And, I mean, it's, what am I going to do? Describe a blow-by-blow of these battles?
Well, there's no need. He's just massacring these guys.
And he goes to the nest, breaks the shamans, the goblin shablins.
They have a shaman who is leading their group.
He breaks his throne and pulls back a door, and there's baby goblins all in there. And then proceeds to massacre all the baby goblins.
And the priestess is asking him these moral questions like, "What if there's a good goblin out there?" And he's like,
"The only good goblin is the one that doesn't come out of its hole."
He's like, "Yeah, I suppose there could be a good one, but..."
Oh, what do you say? He's like, goblins hold lifetime grudges.
Yeah, if he doesn't kill these babies, they're gonna hold a lifetime grudge, and they learn and adapt. So he's kind of like an exterminator here.
Yeah,
he's not gonna let this happen.
Specifically of goblins.
Specifically of goblins. Fuck all these goblins.
So, it's... They save all the girls that were taken from the village. They save Monk, she's still alive. But when they show them on the cart ride back to civilization, they got that face of, they're never going to be the same.
Yeah, they rescue a whole bunch of girls, and there's like a cart ride, and you can see the PTSD in their faces. This show's graphic, even when there's not blood. It's pretty graphic. It's just like, you can see the pain and just everything going on in this chick's mind through her face. And it's actually heartbreaking to look at her face. Yeah, so this show kind of, contrasts D&D instead of just being a game.
Yeah.
With monsters roaming around. What do the monsters actually do? These monsters are fucking terrible and terrifying. Yes,
this shows why living in a D&D world would suck. Because of what these fucking monsters would do. And Jesus, it is not scared to show it.
Yeah, so you have to go in with these expectations of what Goblin Slayer is. It's a Berserk-like show.
Yes.
That does not hold its punches.
Well, Berserk didn't hold its punches either.
Not hold its punches at all.
I mean, well, the original Berserk. We're not talking about that crappy CG recent Berserk.
Well, there was some CG usage in this show, but
okay, yeah, that was
not Berserk. 2016 to 2017.
Agreed, but it was very... Thank you for reminding me. It's jarring as hell. When you see it, all of a sudden... And it's only Goblin Slayer. He's the only character they do it to. He's like... do you remember that comedy movie Kung Pao?
Yeah.
Where I am Betty. He's like doing his speech and he's like, I am great magician. You have red clothes now. It's like, you are the Goblin Slayer. Oh, you are all animated. With 2D coloring. You are now CG now. And then it was cut, and it's like, oh, no, yeah, you CG now. Yes, and now you are animated again. And he'll be back to drawn. It's like...
It's not super bad like Berserk is, though.
No, it's not, but it's just noticeable.
It's definitely noticeable, and I think on that note, we could just conclude that they do leave great foreshadowing about what the next couple of episodes are going to be.
Yes,
because
next time on Goblin Slayer, episode 2, Goblin Slayer.
And he tells Priestess, she's like, what are you going to do? And he's like, I'm going to slay goblins.
Yep.
So, yeah, we definitely have a focus for this show.
Yes. I'm pretty sure, it's pretty good, though. It's a good thing, because it'd be pretty misleading if he went out killing unicorns. It's just... A show called Goblin Slayer, and he goes out, slaughtering unicorns. It'd be a little bit of a, you call that false advertising. But with that, we're going to leave Goblin Slayer there. Definitely, like you said, if you're going into it, understand what it is. It is graphic, it is in your face and intense, and it's not going to hold its punches.
Yeah, don't let the Moe look fool you, because this is not the Moe show you're looking for.
No. Moving on from here, the last two anime we're watching, these ones actually don't have action in the search tags. The first of which is, my god, so many colors in the future, what a wonderful world. Or as Amazon shortens to, Iroduku, which we're not going to use because the word Dooku is in there, and that is dumb, because that was a dumb name in Star Wars. Anyway.
And we don't want to, make any references to the prequels at all.
No. Well, there was good There was good scenes here and there. There were good scenes here and there.
At all.
There were good scenes here and there. Overall, crap. There were good scenes over there and there, because I could watch Anakin Skywalker crying a million times going, I didn't just kill the men, but the women, and the children. Because that scene made me laugh every time. So, we're gonna call it What a Wonderful World for short, because I'm not saying Irodoku, because it's Iroduku, because it's stupid.
As Amazon actually shortened it to The World of Colors.
Let's call it that. Iroduku, The World of Colors, or just The World of Colors. So The World of Colors takes place in the future. In the future, they have not only awesome tech, which is really cool, because she has these earring thing that gives her a heads-up display. That she gets face calls from, and she has a little thing showing her time, and it has probably has other functions, but they haven't shown them yet.
Yeah, it does take place in the future, or as Conan would say, in the year 2000.
No, it's in the future. Beyond that.
2000.
Well, in the year 2000. I wonder if people even remember that now.
Probably not.
So, we find our main protagonist. What was her name?
She has a name.
She has a name and a grandmom named Konohaku, or something to that effect. She is colorblind.
Yeah,
We don't know why she's colorblind. If she was from birth, or if it was because of magic, because she can use magic or produce magic. She's part of a family that has a magic shop.
Well, she's not just colorblind. All she sees is black and white.
Okay, literally, yeah.
She is extreme colorblind.
She's the literal interpretation of what you would think of it with colorblind. She sees no color but black and white. Every time it shows the world from her perspective, it always does this flash where you see it, and then it shows her, and then it shows it again, and it's black and white. And she's sulky, she's upset, and it's the fireworks festival, and everyone's all excited and seeing the fireworks. And she
doesn't like him because magic.
Well, I think that something about magic makes it so she can't see colors, even though it's not said. But because she really doesn't like magic, but we don't know why. And her grandma's up there making something in the attic of their house, which is a magic shop. And she's like, oh, Grandma, you gotta come to the blah, blah, blah. She's like, I need to finish this first. And she laments, like, Grandma never leaves the house. She's always up in her room, always doing something. I hate magic, and blah, blah, blah.
I hate magic. I'm not getting in the Ava.
Yeah, she definitely has a Shinji quality to her personality. For those who've watched Evangelion, she definitely has a very Shinji gait to her walk. She's always got her shoulders hunched. She's always got her head down. She's very depressing. And then, they're at the festival, and the fireworks are going off, and her grandmother actually leaves. She's surprised to see her grandmother out of the house. And she's like, guess what I did? I made time travel magic, and I'm going to use it on you.
And you don't get to consent.
You're going to go visit me when I was a teenager. Okay. Oh, and it's one-way ticket, too. But wait, I don't want it. What about my friends and stuff? Too late! And she just, Tom, the names of all that is time, and this, that, and the other, and boom! And it's just sort of like, okay, interesting
and
start.
I like this next scene because she's in an alternate dimension or something.
Oh, the bus!
Time traveling on the bus, and there's some panels
Hey, seriously, it was the time vortex from Doctor Who, but on a bus.
There's some panels up there that are maybe showing, different eras or something.
Yeah.
And she's on this bus with this weird creature.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was so stupid. Go ahead.
And he stops the bus, and I don't know if she falls down, but that would have been funny.
Well, the part I liked is that he's like, well, where are we? And he just goes, that's your stop.
Yeah, this is your stop. You're getting off here.
But then she tries to leave, and he's like, no, you can't just ride a bus and not pay. And she's like, shit, what do I give him for money? I don't have
criminal.
Money. Yeah, he goes to criminal. Just out of nowhere, in the middle of her lamenting, like, shit, I don't have money. He just goes, criminal. So she has this red cylinder in her hand. I guess she doesn't even realize she has it in her hand. And he goes, is that? And he's like, what? He's like, you want this? He's like, yeah, I'll take that. He's like, okay, instead of money? He's like, yeah, instead of money. And she turns around after handing it to him. It's Pocky. He gave her fucking Pocky. Or other way around, she gave him Pocky.
Which pays the fare because he raises the gate and lets her go.
And then proceeds. It's like, she's like, okay, step, vroom.
Vroom. And she falls into a room. She doesn't know where she is, and she's really confused.
Or when she is. She tries asking her phone earring. He's like, what, where am I? Error, don't know. He's like, well,
when
okay,
am I?
So what day is it? I don't fucking know. And she finds a calendar and says 2018. The distant future of 2018. And
very, very far in the future.
She's trying to figure out how a goddamn window works, which apparently windows have become vastly technologically advanced in the future.
Yeah, people in the future have no clue how to operate a window and how to open it, or how to figure out how to open a window.
She's in there the latch goes, why is it not working? And then it's like, oh, it's a button. Okay, it's not working. It's like, that's all you gotta do. And she hears footsteps. Oh shit, footsteps. She hides under the bed, and she realizes she's in some boy's room, and she sneaks out the window after he leaves, and some girl's like, "Oh, look!" Out of how do you pronounce it? AOI. That's the kid's
Owie.
name. Owie?
Yeah.
His name is Owie? Really?
Yeah, it's actually the color blue.
He got an Owie? Really? He got an Owie. His name's oh my god.
Yeah, anytime you see A and O, it's pronounced Ow.
Okay, so like some girls are like, "Oh, what a scandal! A girl is sneaking out of Owie's room. Oh, he has a girlfriend. Ooh!" And she,
at least that's how they perceive it.
yeah. So she's wandering aimlessly around. Did they say where they were?
They're in some place
In Japan,
which had a name, which we don't remember.
Yes, we'll get these names eventually. Damn it. So then the girls from before see her again, and with some other dude. They're in a club, some photography club. They were in.
Sure.
Yeah, it was photography club they were in. They're talking about it, like the scandal, and they're like, he's like, it's a girl with long silver hair, and this, that, and the other, describe, and he's like, "Oh, you mean like that right there?" And it shows her, and she's like confused, trying to read a map. She doesn't know how to read a fucking map. She's like, map.
Yeah, apparently in the future they lose all skills on how to do anything at all.
Well, then again, I mean, put us back in medieval times, we'd fucking die in a day. So
That's probably true because we'd probably be murdered by somebody.
Probably, yeah, but I mean, we wouldn't know how to do anything that they did. So
yeah, they'd be like, "You don't know how to read a map? Shank."
Yeah. Well, after they asked us if we had anything to steal, it was like, "Hey, give us all your valuables." But anyway, so they take her under the, she's like, "I need to go to the sudden, her family name, magic shop, and we can take you there. It's over this way." And she's, as they go through, she's noting all the differences between her time and this time, and
these two girls, they buddy up to her real quick though.
Really good. And I think it's because they think that Aoi forced himself on her, because she's like, "I don't even know who Aoi is." So now they think that he's a predator.
Well, they're trying to get the scoop on the whole situation because they don't know whether she's his girlfriend or he forced himself on her.
Right.
Which probably didn't happen because this is not Goblin Slayer.
So it's a beautiful little like slice of life anime meets magic. It's really beautiful. Like it's actually kind of heartbreaking. They show how heartbreaking her colorblindness is, because like they say like, "Oh wow, look at that sunset! It looks like such and such, and this, that, and the other." And it's a beautifully drawn sunset. With colors are gorgeous.
There's some great color usage in this show.
But then it shows it from her perspective, and it's just black and white. It's like, oh, that's fucking heartbreaking. And she gets to the magic school or the magic shop. They present. Long story short, she presents them with a letter her grandmother gave her. They take her in, and they're like, "Oh my, her grandmother's grandmother takes her in." It's like, "Oh wow, so my granddaughter finally perfects time magic in the future. Huh? I should have known someone as quirky as her could have done that." And it's just, they've set her up in the attic room that her granny is in her present time. Say outright, there's no reversing a magic spell. She's got to go back there the long way.
Yeah, you can't reverse this time magic. She's stuck here for however long.
Yep, she has to age through time normally.
I don't think they say what year she came from.
No, but we can assume that it's at least maybe 40 to 60 years in the from now.
Yeah, I think she said that. I think the woman that she mistook for her grandmother said that her grandmother is actually going to be her great granddaughter or something. So.
Well, the old woman that she mistook for her grandmother was her grandmother's grandmother.
Yeah.
So she's had to, remember, she sent her back to, she said, when I was a teenager. So we're looking at least 40 to 60 years here.
Probably 60 to 80.
Maybe. If this is the Harry Potter timeline where people age to be like 200, then I mean, it could be really long.
Really long.
If you know magic in Harry Potter, you live for fucking ever. Unless you're killed. But,
people die when they're killed.
Yes. So she's now set up in the same room that her grandmother set up in her timeline, and she realizes her tech device, her earring, her phone ring, I guess.
Yeah, her phone ring. Yeah, that's missing.
And so she has to go find it. She uses a spell, even if she doesn't want to. She's like, "So what? You don't like using magic?" And she's like,
"Yeah, she has a real dislike for magic."
So she uses a locator spell, She dropped it in the boy's room under his bed, but he finds it. Oh no, his Snoopy mother finds it because she found on the internet that a girl climbed out of his room.
Yeah, the neighbors of the internet are like convincing her, and she went in there, found the earring, and she's like, "Oh, tell me about this girl. I don't disapprove."
She's the wingman mother. She's
trying to get him hooked up.
She's like, thank God, because it's like I thought you were just going to be into art, all your life, which I think was like I think it was a nice way of her saying, I thought you were going to turn out to be... I think she was trying not to say, oh, thank God, I thought you were going to turn out to be gay.
Yeah, I think it was a polite way of saying that.
Yeah. So, and he gets pissed.
And he's like, what?
He's like, fuck, I'm going to take this to the police and report a burglary. And storms out. And the main character follows him. And after she stalks him through what looks like half the city, because it shows like a time period, like the sun's going down more and more. Mm-hmm. Like apparently she's been following him half the day, and he stops and he starts doing something on a tablet-looking thing underneath a gazebo, or what would you call that? Is that a gazebo? What would you call that?
Yeah, close enough,
Yeah, and it turns out he's drawing, and it shows it from her point. And this is the most beautiful scene in this episode, in this show so far, because it's only one episode. But she sees the tablet. At first, she's looking for her thing. She's looking over his shoulder, looking for her, Alexandrite or something like that, or whatever it was called.
It's the earring.
Yeah, the phone ring.
The phone ring. Very technical terms here.
She looks at his tablet. She sees all the colors. She sees every color that he's drawing.
Yeah, they have it from her point of view, and she sees all the colors on the tablet.
Just the tablet.
And the rest of the shot is black and white.
And she goes through this scene where suddenly the world and everything around her is beautifully colored. It's all in pastels. Yeah. It's gorgeous. Like pastel's the tool, not pastel's the color. But I mean, it's beautifully painted. It's gorgeously animated. She has a hallucination, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah, the world is coming to life in color to her, and she's getting lost in it. She's like, oh, this is wonderful.
Until the words come through, like, who are you?
Yeah, she's standing right in front of the dude at the point, and he's like, who are you?
And that's where it cuts. And the episode ends right there, their first meeting, where she acts like a crazy person, spinning, the hills are alive with the sound of color. And she's just spinning around in front of him, looking at all the colors, and he's... Meanwhile, it never shows it, but he's got to be, at some point, let me just use my phone as an example, he's sitting there drawing... What the fuck? Why is there a woman dancing in front of me? What?
He also had earbuds in his ears because he's listening to music.
Yes.
And this caught his attention. He was like, and he takes him out. He's like, the fuck?
So that's their first meeting, and it's obviously it's like, you can see the jokes for the next episode coming. It's like, oh, you're a crazy person. You're gonna go down that road probably.
Well, I don't know if they're gonna take it to a joke, because this is kind of more of a drama.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's supposed to signify like depression over magic or something. But I think by the end of the series, she's going to get back into using magic and is going to overcome whatever obstacle is preventing her and causing this grayness in her vision.
So, I'm interested. I mean, this isn't like the other animes where like Banana Fish or Double Decker or Goblin Slayer has these great action set pieces. This is a slow, beautifully drawn out, story. It's setting up a mystery. It's setting up character. It's setting up, a focus. It's got a focus of what's going to,
setting up the greatest love story where a wingman mom comes in and saves the day and sets her son up with the female lead.
Now, you brought it up to me after we watched the episode. What some people believe, what the running theory is.
I don't know if I buy it.
But
there's
a
running theory that she's actually the grandmother.
She's her own grandma.
Yeah, she's her own grandmother.
I'm my own grandpa.
Back in time. And I don't know if I buy it, but we'll see.
But it could, I mean, there's some plausibility to it, because it could explain why her grandmother just, without her permission, without her consent, without telling her anything about it, just goes, hey, you're going back into the past. Why?
Maybe she's just the crazy grandmother.
Well, maybe it's because she had to do it to stop a paradox from happening.
That could be true, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So I'm intrigued. Let's put it that way. I'm not like, yes, I can't wait to see the next episode, as much as I'm like, let's see what happens next. So with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to our final anime for fall of 2018.
And our finale here is a show that, when we were going through the trailers, we looked at the trailer.
The trailers described nothing.
The trailer described nothing. It was pure madness. And we were like, you know what? I'm very intrigued to see what this show is going to be about.
Because last time we saw a trailer that described nothing, it was Joshin-chan.
Yeah, Joshin-chan's trailer had nothing to do with the show. It was completely different art style.
So we decided this time, instead of missing out a couple of weeks of an amazing show, let's see what it has to offer.
And I think this was probably one of the greatest trailers I've ever seen, because
really?
It was a total misdirect. Total misdirect. And we thought that we were going to get something completely different.
True. I thought we were going to get
what we got.
I thought we were going to get another zombie anime. It's like, for me, at this point in my life, you say zombie to me, I go, yeah.
So we thought we were going to get some kind of zombie apocalypse, and they cut it out, the parts that would show what this show really is. Which,
yes.
We were actually looking for a horror show, which we did get.
Horror is in the tag.
Yeah, it has horror in the tag, which I guess I would kind of dispute, even though there are some good shots in here that would be in a horror show.
Yes.
But we do have a horror show this season called Goblin Slayer.
Yes.
But we dived into the madness that is Zombieland Saga.
Yes. Actually, did we just finally say the name?
Yes.
I don't know. God damn. So yeah, Zombieland Saga. I instantly got vibes, at least at the opening, I got vibes of Excel Saga.
You don't say.
Let's see. Excel Saga. Excel graduates from high school, super happy that she's graduated high school, runs out to the middle of the street, gets murdered by a truck.
Yeah, Truck Coon shows up.
Zombieland Saga. A girl is super excited. She's going to give her first audition to be an idol. She's got her audition tape. She's got it in a vanilla envelope. She's like, I'm going to be an idol, yeah! She runs out into the street. Zombie truck apparently just finished with Excel and moved on.
Yeah, the truck finished, and then 20 years later, hits Sakura.
Is that her name?
Her name's Sakura.
Oh, god damn it. Really? The most cliched name for an idol girl ever?
Well, I'm not disappointed, because the first 2 minutes of the show is setting it up, and we got this happy, bubbly girl, and I swear that when I watched this scene and she got hit with the truck, because it does it from multiple angles, it shows her flying, I laughed so hard.
As did I. I mean, is the imagery of a child being struck by a truck hilarious? No. Is the imagery of Sakura getting smashed by a truck hilarious? Fuck yes.
And
she gets smacked into by the truck squarely into Spencer Mansion.
Well, yeah, this is kind of where it goes into a horror bit before it reveals its true colors. And we have Sakura waking up, because she fell down, and I guess she was unconscious, but more on that later.
Yeah.
She wakes up and is looking around. Spencer Mansion from Resident Evil.
It's clearly Spencer Mansion. I swear to God, it's Spencer Mansion.
She's opening up doors, looking around, and a zombie pops out, busts through the window.
Yeah,
and
it did the fucking dog scare from Resident Evil, but with a zombie.
As an aside, which is totally unrelated to the show and related to Resident Evil,
please,
I forced my little sister to play the original Resident Evil, and
Yes.
she says she hates that game now because a dog burst out of a window. And when I watched her play it, she jumped up and squealed.
Oh, come on. Many people, almost everyone who's ever played the game, the first time they've ever played it, we've all jumped at that.
It's
Don't
still
lie.
hilarious.
Yes, it is. So, Sakura's really her name?
Yeah, Sakura.
Okay. So Sakura is looking around. She gets jumped by a zombie. She tries running from the zombie. She meets another zombie. It's almost like a fucking Scooby-Doo Benny Hill scene. You almost put the yakety sax to it because she's running around trying to get away from zombies.
And you can tell these aren't just normal zombies because they have really distinct character designs.
Yeah.
And
they're all young girls.
They're all young girls. But Sakura gets away. She impales one of the zombies in the head with a fire poker or something, and runs outside the house.
That was an amazing shot, by the way. Boom! Smacks it through her head and pales it into the wall.
She must be related to Ash.
Must been.
But she runs out there and finds a police officer, and this is one of those excessive force police officers. He's
important part of the scene, it is raining. It's like crazy rain coming
It's
down.
raining, and the river looks like it's about to flood over.
I think it was flooding over.
But she runs into this cop that looks like a milkman.
I think he looked like a pedophile because of the things he was saying, the way he was saying it.
Well, he was an asshole cop, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, the excessive force cop. He's like, are you looking to get arrested? Because I'll arrest you. And she's like, not done anything wrong.
Yeah, but it's the way he was saying. He's like, oh, look at you. Out, and you shouldn't be. You know, what are you doing? Looking to get arrested? I'm going to arrest you. It's like, whoa, back away, dude. Back away. Like he has the creeper grin on the whole time he's saying this. Until he gets close enough to her, and his face drops, and he's like screaming at something. He's like terrified by something, and he points a gun at her. And she's all like, oh my god, what is it? What is? Turns around and sees her face in the reflection of this, like, for some reason there's a mirror on the light post. I don't know why.
I don't know why. Maybe that's a Japanese thing.
Maybe. And you can sort of see, apparently, her skin was like, her human pale skin was all makeup. It's all running and everything. And you see this green zombie face underneath. Just like all the other zombie girls.
Yeah, she's definitely got zombies features, and the place where Truck-kun hit her on the head, because they have that shot where her head just makes contact with the truck's window. She has this big scar there.
Yep.
But she's got all these zombie features, and she's freaking out the cop, and he shoots her.
Square through the chest from behind.
And she's like, what?
And falls over like a limp corpse. And she's saved by a shovel. A shovel knocks out the cop that's attached to fucking tuxedo mask.
A crazy guy.
It's fucking tuxedo mask. I mean, swear to God.
It's only tuxedo mask if we see him in subsequent episodes getting completely trashed by somebody. Because that's the only thing he ever did throughout the entire series is he'd show up, say some words of encouragement, and then immediately get beat down.
No, he wasn't.
Yes,
he would come in, say some words of encouragement, and then leave.
Well, I remember him getting beat down a lot.
That was later when he had the Sultan outfit. Yeah, the turban.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, he saves her, and she wakes up back in Spencer Mansion, and she's like, wait, what the fuck? She runs over to the mirror on the wall, and she's like, I'm a zombie? What the fuck?
And she's met with... What is the guy's name? Do you remember his name?
He has a name.
He is this guy. He's wearing this... Like, it looks like a Spencer's Gifts, like, vampire costume. With sunglasses. He's always wearing sunglasses.
He's a cute little dog in his hands.
A cute little zombie dog.
Zombie dog.
And he always has squid in his pocket. He has fried squid in his pocket. I don't know why. Even she's like... He's explaining to her that she's a zombie, and she's like, he's giving her these revelations, and her eyeline is focused. He's like, why does he have fried calamari in his pocket? That's all she can focus on. And his scheme, his great idea. Apparently at one point, I don't know the idol culture, I don't live in Japan, but apparently at one point, idol culture was like, every prefecture and city had their own idol group, and there were idol group battles, you know, like between idol groups, and there were rivalries and everything. and that dwindled down until now there's just like, countrywide. All the idol groups belong to the country, not to certain sectors no more. So he wants to bring back that competition. So what did he do? He found legendary girls from throughout history, dug up their corpses, and turned them into zombies to be part of his zombie idol group.
Some kind of...
For a town called Saga?
It's a prefecture.
Okay, prefecture.
It's like a county or
okay.
A state over here.
Okay.
It's called a prefecture over there, but the place is called Saga, so...
Yes.
They kind of baited us. They baited us a lot with this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, this crazy guy's scheme is to get them to be idols, these zombie girls.
To save Saga somehow. So if these girls if these zombies become a great idol group, somehow that will save Saga from something.
I have a theory on that, but I'll get to that a little bit later.
Okay. So, apparently Sakura's the only one who's awoken, quote unquote. She's awoken. He had just put on the makeup on her to make her look human, and she passed out, being like all the other zombie girls, like, brains. And apparently she was like that too, but then he put the makeup on her, and she passed out, and then woke up with her human consciousness, without her memories. And he's trying to figure out how to get all the other girls awoken as well. So he has another scheme. He takes them to a death metal club to sing zombie idol music to a death metal club. And the adrenaline and the rush of the stage will awaken the other zombie girls somehow.
Well, I want to talk about the part before he takes there, because he just gives this completely convoluted explanation about how she's there and what she's supposed to do. So she's like...
you say it is a convoluted explanation. It's not that. It's a convoluted rant. Because there's no explaining in there at all.
No, it's not a convoluted rant. It's an unhinged rant.
Yes.
She's like, so I'm dead. And he's like, yep. And she's like, so how'd that happen? And he's like, you're just a zombie. Haven't you ever watched a zombie movie? And she's like, yeah. He's like, that's how it happened.
He's like, but how? And he freaks out like, oh, for the love of God! It's just a zombie movies. You don't need any explanation of zombie movies. A little of this, a little of that. Boom, you got zombies. That's all you need.
No explanation at all.
Nope. And he's like, he has no patience. If they start asking too many questions, he just freaks the fuck out and yells at him.
Which he does multiple times throughout the episode, because he also introduces all the other girls to her.
The legendary girls.
The legendary girls, and what their legend was about, but he stops at the last one and is like, the legendary Yamada Tai. And he's like, then he goes on to explaining his plan.
I love it because she keeps trying to bring it back. She's like, but what was so legendary Yamada Tai? It's like, but what was so legendary? What did she do? I mean, if she didn't do anything, it's not really a legend. Which comes to my favorite line, like, what, you have to do something and have a legend to be about you to be legendary? What the fuck is that nonsense?
It's like, you're the only one I'm not going to say is legendary now. So gonna punish her?
Zombie number 1, I think her name is, right?
Yeah, he doesn't give them names, he gives them numbers.
Well, he gives all the other girls the girls their names, he just calls her Zombie number 1.
Zombie number 1.
That's why I didn't think she had a name. I thought her name was Zombie number 1. I was confused.
Nope, it's Sakura.
So, they're in the wrong place. They're obviously in the wrong place. They're out there doing this. The zombies are wandering around blindly on. Oh, I love it when he's like trying to get them on, getting Sakura out there on the stage.
Yeah.
He goes, "He's like, look, this is part of my master plan. All right, those people out there, they have no expectations. They have no expectations. They already hate you, so your expectations can only go up. Just like me, I have no expectation that you will succeed at all.
Yeah, you'll blow us away.
So therefore, when you succeed, you'll blow us all away."
And then she's like, but won't these girls bite somebody? And he's like, getting bit never hurt anybody. And she's like, you're stupid, man. You're just fucking stupid.
To which promptly, when they're on stage, they're just wandering around like idiots.
In front of a bunch of death metal fans who are looking for them to play their music. And
Yamada Tai
leaps out into the audience and tackles one of the guys and is about to gnaw on him.
But Sakura rips her off of him, gets it back on stage, and then cue death metal. Death metal starts playing in the background, and the zombies all start headbanging.
And the audience is really getting into this, and they're like, this is awesome.
This is the way they're headbanging. It's like the only way you could do that was their neck was broken.
And this guy has tears in his eyes. He's like, this is so beautiful. And this is like a commentary on death metal or
I think
something.
it is because two of the zombie girls and zombie number one, the only lyrics they do is "Ah!"
They're just screaming into the mic and head banging. And these guys are all just like, yes, this is the greatest thing ever. It's like a commentary on death metal that, you know, you don't have to make some amazing thing, that even brain dead zombies can go out there and excite the crowd.
Which I think that's going to be the theme of this show, because of the next episode. I think they're going to do it to that genre as well.
Yeah, they're going to do hip hop next.
I love hip hop.
Yeah.
Or less than 3 hip hop.
But their show is a smashing success.
Yes.
Because
for reasons. Because reasons. There's no explanation. It's because reasons.
Poor death metal fans out in the world that just got openly mocked by this show.
What death metal fans? Death metal's dead.
There's still got to be death metal fans out there.
Well, of course we're still out there. It's just we don't talk about it anymore because there's no more good death metal.
In the deep dark recesses.
Of course I'm going to get comments on that. What do you mean there's not any more good death metal? What about? I'm kidding. It was a joke, for the love of God. Like, look at the show. It's making a joke.
The show's definitely making a joke about fans.
So, and then, what was it? It actually, no, it wasn't. It didn't end in failure. She's like, I knew that was gonna end wrong.
It did not end in failure. It's like the Invader Zim skit at the beginning, where the tallest are like, you made these fires, and
I put I
put the fires out.
You made them worse. Worse or better? But no, didn't it show that the zombies eventually went out into the crowd and started nomming on them?
So at the end of the episode, Sakura's recollecting, and she's like, I knew this was going to be a failure. And she recollects that the zombie girls go out into the audience and start biting the audience members.
Yeah.
So I think that's why she thinks it was a failure, but Crazy Guy is probably like, this was the best thing ever.
So she's out on the balcony, she's reflecting on it. She's like feeding the dried squid pieces to the zombie dog, and she's just having a quiet moment until screams happen. Like, oh my god, screaming! Like, girl screaming. She rushes inside, and all the zombie girls have regained their consciousness, and they're looking at what's it, Tai? Yamato Tai?
Except possibly Yamada Tai.
Yeah, Yamato Tai is still going. And all the other girls who are now awoke are freaking out. Like, oh, zombie! Oh my god! The one literally has her heart on the outside of her body, and is pumping really hard.
As an aside, Yamada Tai, everybody else has a voice actor listed. She does not.
Oh, so all the girls like become conscious, and it's like Sakura's just like, "Ohayo gozaimasu."
She's like, "Good morning, everybody."
But she does it in her weak little way.
No, she screams it out, man.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she screams it. That's right. You're right. So it cuts there, and we can sort of see where this is going to go. And the next episode is going to be a lot of, explaining what zombies are. Some of these girls are not going to know what a zombie are because they came from like the idol era of the Meiji era. And
they have the one girl who's from the Meiji era, which is in the 1800s. Like, where did he find this body?
And how is it so well preserved that they could make a zombie out of it? So it's very interesting. This is our comedy. This is our comedy show for the season. I mean, Double Decker had some comedy.
Yeah.
This one but it's more action. This is comedy. This is our comedy for the season.
So my greatest hope and wish, I don't know if it's going to come true, since this is a zombie idol anime, is somewhere, or even in the finale, if they turn like the entire community of Saga into zombies, and then like cut to Michael Jackson's Thriller, and
Yes.
they play that,
Yes.
and they have these idol girls dancing to it.
Yes.
This would be, like, without a doubt, the best show ever.
Oh, I hope so.
I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's my one hope and dream.
So, this is... I don't even say I have hopes for this show. I just want to watch it. Let's see the randomness that happens. So, it was not as random as Joshin-chan was, but it has a story and overarching thing. But again, it reminds me of Excel Saga. It honestly does.
Yeah, this is one of those shows
Because
like that.
Excel Saga, every episode was a parody and making fun of a certain genre of movie or TV. This is making fun of each genre of music in turn. Starting with death metal, moving on to hip hop.
And then whatever else comes after that.
So I think that's what we're getting here. And if that's the case, I want to be there for that ride.
Yeah, we're not getting an actual zombie apocalypse out of
No,
this.
thank God.
Like, I didn't know that zombie idols was something that I wanted, but
We do now.
okay, I will take this.
So, final thoughts on that? It's. I'm not even say it's fantastic yet. I'm reserving judgment, but I'm excited to watch it. Any final thoughts from you?
I am very ready for this show.
Is your body Reggie?
My body is Reggie.
And with that, guys, we're going to end this episode here. We got vastly carried away. We just got we're excited. We're excited to be back doing this. We're excited with our whole new cast of anime. I hope you guys are excited to watch it with us. For those who are new to this, episodes aren't normally this long. We try to keep our thoughts a little more condensed, but there was a lot to talk about. There really was. At least we felt there was. So with that, guys, we're going to end it here. We hope you had a good time. We hope you enjoyed it. Once again, if you have animes you're watching that aren't on this list, let us know about them. If you're excited, if you're watching any ones we are watching, let us know what you liked or didn't like about them. Comments below. Keep us informed. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe. You can share it, or you can click on the annotations for other videos we've done. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next time.